Welcome to the first of 3 videos I'll be doing about the Ampharos line in the Pokémon TCG, and we are today looking at Mareep. And Mareep was introduced along with the rest of the line in Silver and Gold in November '99 in Japan, then in October 2000 in the US, April 2001 in Europe, and April 2002 in Korea. So back in those days they had staggered releases of the video games, so parts of the world had to wait a very long time for the next generation. There are 25 artworks, 88 prints, and then there are an additional 3 artworks with 10 prints. There is no Arita card, I'm afraid. He's not been ever commissioned to do Mareep. And I would say that of the line of the 3 of them, Mareep has the least personality, but is still a nice Pokemon. The line just gets better and better as it evolves. And it was first seen in the Pokemon TCG, here with the rookie card here, from the first Neo set, Neo Genesis in English, and that was February 2000 in Japan and December 2000 in English. So I will run through the cards and we'll see which ones I'm going to recommend as nice bits of artwork. So we start with Ken Sugimori's Neo Genesis artwork. Very standard artwork, what we expect from Sugimori, very good. As I say, Mareep doesn't have a lot of personality, but that's a nice piece of Sugimori. So the Mareep appeared in most sets in the early years. There were very few sets that didn't have an Ampharos line in the set. So the second card we have here is the Neo Discovery card, or Through the Ruins in Japanese. And there were 3 Japanese cards because they appeared in the Totodile deck, numbered cards in the Totodile deck. This one and this one. And then I just wanted to point out that the artwork is slightly different in the English because they made the big box larger and stretched the image of the picture, so Mareep's face is slightly longer, and the ball on the end of the tail is no longer round. But that's true of a lot of cards of this period, which they stretched for the English releases. Then there's that one is Atsuka Nishida, of course, and this one is the 3rd Mareep card, which is by Aimi Tomita and is McDonald's promo that was only released in McDonald's in Japan. Initially I didn't much care for this card, but actually it's quite nice. I like the little frosty breath on the Mareep there, but there is no English print to show you on that one. So the 4th card we have here is Neo Destiny, and as with the Neo Discovery one, the image is stretched and different or whatever. So this one they've cropped out part of the cloud, the Mareep in the clouds that this Mareep is looking at. This is by Himemaru, Kagamaru Himeno, and is a very iconic card in a way, and I like it very much. So we'll just, that's the Japanese print with the full cloud of the Mareep there. The next set had Expedition, so this one is by Sumiyoshi Kizuki and is a more stylized graphic image, and it's not a favorite of mine particularly, but it's different. And this is where we get the first reverse foil in English, and they were mirror foils back in those days. So that is that one. And the very next set had yet another Mareep. This is from Aquapolis, or Wind from the Sea. Another, well, this is like clay, a rather flat image of clay, I think, on put on a background. It's a bit crafty. I don't particularly care for it. Izuki Misono. And again, it was in Japanese, English, and a mirror foil. Then there was a little bit of a gap. We then got we got this Mareep, and this is Miki Tanaka, and this is from Rulers of the Heavens, or EX Dragon in English, and it's not an art style I like. I'm not a fan of Miki Tanaka or Yukiko Baba, who are both quite primitive in their art style and have been painting for most of the Pokemon TCG. I kind of like it. The trees look upside down to me, but anyway, that is that, and we've got the Japanese, English, and another mirror foil. The next Mareep is Kimura, and this was in Rocket Gang Strikes Back in Japanese. Very cute. Probably the, yeah, I think that beats the Atsuka Nishida one as my favourite so far. So we have the Japanese Rocket Gang Strikes Back, Team Rocket Returns, and then we've got the reverse Team Rocket Returns, which are now, they've gone over to hollow patterns in the foil with the logo and this energy symbols randomly across the card. And in English there was also an additional one, these are the same, which was in the Minun deck here. It's just an alternate print. Nothing different about it except the numbering. So moving on, what was this one? This is Unseen Forces Kyoko Umamoto and the Golden Sky Silvery Ocean in Japanese. Sorry, I'm having to refer to my notes on this one because I do sometimes forget the names of the Japanese sets. So you've got the Japanese print, English, and then English reverse. I'll show you the reverses because they often are slightly different depending on which set in the EX era we're looking at. This one's got the Pokeballs and the sparkle as well, and the logo. So very nice reverse foil pattern on that one. Then we have a Delta Mareep, which was from Offense and Defense of the Furthest Ends in Japanese, and in English was in Dragon Frontiers, and it's by Sashiko Adachi. So probably the best one of these is the reverse from Dragon Frontiers, which being a Delta species, the Pokemon is mirror foil on a non-hollow background. So that's a nice little card. It's another one of these crafty clay things stuck on a background and then photographed. So those are the three prints of that one. Then we come to Shining Darkness Secret Wonders, which is another Atsuka Nishida. We've got Japanese, English verse. They've gone back to these mirror foils with they look slightly different, but I'm not a fan of this card and this one as well, which is an alternate art effectively. Nishida went through a phase here of no outlines, no great detail either, and I think Mareep just looks a bit blobby in that one, and I don't like the greenish tinge to its fur, that as if it's picking up the colour of the landscape. Same here. So this alternate art one, which was in the Dialga Level X deck in Japanese and in Pop Series 7 in English, again by Atsuka Nishida. Even more greenish in the wool. I don't really like that. Then we have Yukamori from Platinum and Galactic's Conquest, and there is just the Japanese, English, and English reverse, which again is a mirror foil. So that's a nice, I like that. I mean, Yukamori is a class act and always does good cards. And then we have this one. No, we won't get, well, that's the Japanese regular, and this is the Japanese reverse. This is from Heart Gold. This is Masakatsu Fukuda, and is probably my favourite Mareep card. And yes, the Japanese did a couple of sets with reverse foils back then. But this is a card I don't have all the prints of, because there's a Japanese Pokémon Center stamped one. And then there is, I've only got the English regular one. I haven't got the mirror foil of the English print, just this one, and that's a shame because I really love this card, so I'm still looking for that. And then there are two English ones in a Raichu deck which have a little Raichu symbol in the bottom corner, which are less necessary for my collection, but as a completist I would like to get them at some point. Right, the next one is Sugimori again, and I don't have the reverse in English of this. This is the Call of Legends one. A lot of Call of Legends cards the Japanese didn't get, but they did get a holofoil version and logoed version of this as a promo, and that's a nice card. Prefer this much more to the original Genesis Sugimori. It's a very nice card. Ignore that one for the time being. Dragon Blast and Dragon's Exalted was Sui and is one of my least favourite Mareep cards. I just don't feel, I don't like the background. I don't like Mareep being indoors in a power plant or something from Tron. I don't like the perspective either, the face up in the camera, and no, don't like it. Sorry. Again, another one I don't like is this one here, which is by Eri Yamaki. It's fine without the nose. If the nose wasn't this little pig nose, I'd actually quite like that. I like the impressionistic late 19th century French painting in the background. But it's just that little pig nose just distresses me. It does. By this time, obviously, the reverses have this pattern on them. We had that on the previous one as well. Moving on. There was quite a gap, I think. That was from Steam Siege. Sorry, I forgot to say that was from Steam Siege, which is called Cruel Traitor in Japanese. Then we've got two cards released in Lost Thunder. The first one is Midori Harada, and the second one is by 0313, which I quite like. But the Harada one had a release in, I think, Game in Canada, where it's a reverse foil with the logo here. So it's somewhat obscure to find, perhaps, but and I really like this image, and I don't know if Mareep is sleeping on sacks of wool or has fallen off the cliff and is dead at the bottom of a canyon lying on the rocks, but I suspect it's the bags of wool. And where are we up to now? We're up to Komayama, and Komayama's card is from Dark Order. That's right, Dark Order, and Team Up. And it's not an art style I particularly like, but there's something quite cute about this sort of attacking Mareep, leaping at the camera. Yeah, it's a funny card. So then we get a So-So card, and I do like So-So. I know people rave about So-So, but I'm not hugely into it, but I don't think this is a particularly good So-So. There's not a lot happening. The background's a bit, I don't know, generic almost. It's okay. And this was from Darkness Ablaze, which was, but in Japanese it was in a V-Starter deck, but it makes it a little bit harder to find, but in English it was in Darkness Ablaze. Moving on. Oh dear. Miki Tanaka, who I really don't like this. There are actually 7 prints of this. It was in Jet Black Spirit, it was in Chilling Rain, in English, in normal and reverse. It was in VMAX Climax, and I don't have the reverse of that. And then there's a mirror foil one from a Zera Aura premium deck, which I don't have, and it was in a V-Star premium box. I'm not going to chase down these obscure cards of a card I don't particularly like, so I probably will never get those other three prints of that. Skip that one for the moment. We'll go to this one, which is Yukikobaba. Again, I don't like this at all, and there are actually, I've got 6 of the different variants, but there are actually 8 because it was in a couple of decks, including I think it's a mirror foil again in a Charizard Rayquaza deck in Japanese, and again in the premium trainer box, so I'm missing a couple of the Japanese prints of that. And then Koiki Saito did this thing that the Japanese print was in the V-Star universe and is rather expensive, so I haven't got that, but this is the English one from Crown Zenith. And I kind of, yeah, I don't like these big blown up images of the Pokemon on the card. I know it's how they fit in as the 9 in the picture, but that's, yeah, it's not particularly a favourite of mine. And then the most recent Mareep card, which is by Narumi Sato, is one of my favourites. I think this is brilliant. It's simple, but it's absolutely brilliant. And that was in the Fuecoco and Ampharos starter deck for Japanese, and then was in our Scarlet and Violet. So I'll just quickly show you the 3 cards that Mareep also appears in. Tomokazu Komiya did Double Gust from Genesis, and again in Genesis Pokemon March, and you can see Mareep at the bottom of this image, and again you can see Mareep just poking in at the bottom there beneath the Totodile. And Kanaka Eo did the Twins card from, goodness me, Triumphant? I don't know, forget, but there's a Japanese print I don't have, and there's a Japanese reverse print I don't have. They did reverses of this set, so I think this is brilliant. I mean, I love Ao's art, but that's just so cute, the little Mareep with the flower in its hair. So that is a look at all the Mareep cards. I'll do Flaaffy next, and my favourites in here are going to be, in no particular order, the most recent one, the Lost Thunder one by Harada, Fukuda, clear winner for me. Quite like the Kimura.